Hi, happy weekend. Please visit my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/traderben and support me by becoming my Patreon. Alright, this week I'll be starting out on my weekly FOREX review of, the six major currency pairs, and I'll also be seeing and checking if there will be good opportunities up ahead this coming week for the six major pairs. Let's start with the Aussie US dollar. Um, as always, I begin my analysis with the daily time frame because I normally trade in the hourly or 15-minute day trading charts. For daily, we have an ongoing downtrend or down channel for this pair. Let's see where it's going. It's been in this channel for some time now. It's actually becoming a bit steeper. Let's see there. It almost fits perfectly with a parallel channel. Let's see if we have some major upcoming support and resistances for this pair. There is, but I think we have already overshot this support. The next support will be at around these level. Alright. Resistance around there. Right, let's zoom in once again. As you can see, this pair is still on a downtrend, and it might be on the upswing of this ongoing big downtrend. It faces an old resistance at around 0.715 levels, and let's see if it breaks that and continues on to the upper trend line, or if it gets rejected and goes back to the lower trend line. Let's check the 4R charts. Yep, that's where we are right now. We are nearing an intraday flip zone, or where support can become resistance. And for my favorite time frame, the RD charts, here is what my possible moves will be for the coming week. I'll be waiting for this pair to perhaps breach the psychological resistance and actual resistance at around 0.715. That's an exact number, so those resistances are somewhat pretty strong. But if it breaks it, then this pair might go on to move towards the upper trend line again. If it does not, and in turn, if what happens is that let's make it exact. Anyway, that's if on the other hand it fails to breach this intraday resistance, I might continue to go short if it proves to me that it wants to go further down its range towards the lower trend line. So basically that's my move for the upcoming week for the Aussie US dollar. Again, it's still in a big downtrend channel, possibly on the upswing from uh, from uh, from the bottom part or from the lower trend line, and we are facing an intraday resistance, which means either it gets rejected again, like what happened a couple of days ago, and goes back down, wherein I will short it, or if the psychological level of around 715 is broken, then possibly I will look for a counter trend long. Counter trend meaning it is opposite the uh, daily or longer time frame trend, which is still in a downtrend, right? Let's move on. So that's it for the Aussie US dollar for me. Let's move on to the Euro USD. Again, let's go to the day time frame. It's still basically in a range. Let's see how well it respects its support and resistances. There's this big support here, and then we have more or less these resistances here. Okay, so right now it has fallen a bit off a long-term support, and it's trying to come back up to that level and maybe range again between 1.15 and 1.18. Let's see how it looks on the 4-hour chart. Yep, it's almost exactly in the psychological resistance of 1.15, psychological flip zone of 1.15. For my favorite time frame, what I am going to do next week is, again, if it breaks down from this psychological exact number, psychological zone 1.15, then I will possibly consider going short again. But if it goes through 1.16, then perhaps I will consider the possibility that it will again reach the longer term resistance at 1.18. There's basically, this is still in a ranging price action, and just range trade it for what it is. Okay, that's it for Euro USD. For USD CAD, we have a very soft downtrend in the daily charts. Let's see how it will fit better. There you go. It is on this channel, almost an exact fit. As to major resistances and support, upcoming, you have here, and then that's it for now. We have this flip zone as well, possible flip zone. Let's see what it looks like on the 4 hours. We're on the upswing part of the downtrend, and on my favorite time frame, we are almost near the top of the trend line, which means my personal bias, or what I will wait for this coming week, is for this to be broken down again, perhaps I can make I can lower it to the psychological exact number of 1.3 there. That's the flip zone for that. If this gets broken next week, I will be looking to short this pair. So basically, as you can see, this pair is still in a downtrend for the daily charts, and my bias or my uh, the setups I will be looking for with this pair is uh, are short trades, unless it shows to us that it breaches this trend line around 1.31 and perhaps goes on to fly away. Let's see what happens next week. Again, be prepared for what happens, because there are always opportunities in Forex, either on an uptrend, on the break of the uptrend, on a downtrend, on the break of the downtrend. There are always opportunities. Okay, very good. That's it for USD CAD. Then we have USD Swiss franc. This is on for me, it's ranging for the last few days. Very, very small range. We have a couple of resistances here and possible support level here. Let's look at it on a 4-hour chart. Intraday support around the around the 0.99 level, and it's in a volatile. No, it's in a not volatile, or it's ranging in a small range there. Perhaps we can let's see if we can draw a flag here. No, not really. Just a range here. Yep. So, I don't like this setups, at least in terms of trade opportunities, because I'm not sure where it will go. Wait, why is this not moving? Anyway, this can be good though, but sometimes MT4 is weird like this. This can be good though, because if we are in this contracted or small range, we might see some moves to the upside pretty soon, which means my bias is that it will possibly break the psychological price at 0.995, and let's see if it can go past that. That's my that's what I'll be waiting for this week for this pair. Okay, let's look at the USD Japanese yen. We have just been on an uptrend for the last couple of months. Big uptrend here. Although we are on a big downswing leg of that uptrend, We are reaching almost the lower trend line, which means I'll possibly be looking for longs on this pair. Interesting. This is very well primed to go long again, to go on an upswing again. Which means for next week, I'll be watching closely if it breaks this psychological exact number 112.5. If it does, then I will go long, and that will be for me a very high probability trade, because we are entering near the trend line support, and at the same time we are in line with the daily or the higher time frame trend, which is an uptrend. Right? So that's my that is what I'll be looking for next week for this pair. And finally, the most volatile of the major pairs, especially with all this talk about the Brexit move, the pound US dollar. It has been for the past few days on a quite wide range, I think, with this around this point there. And now it appears that it has reached the resistance and might be might have shown us some rejection in that from that level, which is why for this coming week I'll be looking to see if there will be shorting opportunities. I'll be waiting for some structure which will allow me to enter shorts for this pair. Perhaps a break of this psychological exact number again at 1.315 will trigger another move down to again reach the bigger support at 1.295. Okay, so that's it for me. Oh, by the way, there's something else with the pound US dollar. You can also see this uptrend channel, and on this point of view, perhaps this pair can also bounce off this psychological level and go on again to reach around 1.32. This means that, as always, we have to be prepared either way. If this shows strength to the upside, I will see if if I can do some quick longs on this. But my bigger bias, or my longer term bias, is still a break of this intraday up channel and a short towards support. But as always, anything can happen in Forex, which is just a way to tell us that we should always be prepared and react accordingly. We can have good trades in both directions. We can have trades in an uptrend and also trades in in a downtrend, which is what makes Forex my favorite market to trade these last couple of months. Okay, so that's all for this week, and hopefully I'll be more, I'll be more smooth in the current weeks as I get used to this new series which I am starting today, my weekly Forex major review for opportunities for the coming week. So anyway, again, don't forget, if you like this video, subscribe to me, and if you really like this video and if it has become useful to you, then don't forget to check out my Patreon page. And if you have it in your heart, perhaps you can be my Patreon. All right, thanks guys, and let's have a good trading week ahead of us.